Good morning. Welcome to Math and 2. So this is Sema Shabera, Mathematical and 2 tutor. So now we're just going to do an introduction of exponent. But before we talk about anything in terms of the exponent, we need to understand the laws of exponent. So this is what we have. Exponent. We have about 6 or 7 laws of exponent. So I'm just going to write them down, and then from then I will give different examples based on all of them. So number 1, when we talk about the exponent, what you need to understand is that, let's say for an example I have a, then let's say 5. So this 5, it's what we call exponent. That is what we call exponent. And then this 1, it's what we call base. It's what we call base. So we'll be dealing with exponent and the base. So, and as well as the signs that we're going to deal with, the signs, we're talking about addition, add and subtract. So now this one here, we talk about the exponent. The exponent. But then now number 2, for multiplication and division. So now this is where we talk about the base. This is where we talk about the base. So now law number 1. Let's quickly look at law number 1. It says that when you have 2 bases, you've got a multiplied by a. So now remember there's a 1 and 1. So the law says that when you multiply the same base, you add the exponent. So it's going to be a, you take 1 base and then write 1 plus 1. Therefore, the answer will be a2. So now in terms of this law, sometimes they can just give you a dot. For an example, they can just say we have a third and then a 4. So because we've got the same base, so what we need to do is to write it as a. That will be 3 plus 4. Then the answer is a to the power of 7. That is the first law. So when you multiply the same base, you add the exponent. And then law number 2. Law number 2 says that when we divide the same base, I've got a divided by a. So let me write it as a3 here. Because of the division, the law says that when you divide the same base, we subtract the exponent. That will be a, then 3. So here there's a 1, so we have to take it up. Remember, the law says that whatsoever you take it up or to the other side, it has to change the sign. So that will be minus 1. Then the answer is a to the power of 2. So that is the second law. Very, very important law. And then law number 3, we have AB squared. So now here, we have 2 different terms inside. So what we're going to do, make sure that the sign inside number 1 is multiplication and division. So because of that, if you have multiplication and division, then you can take this thing inside. So that will be a squared. Then you take it again. So that will be b squared. So that is a very important law. You can only do that if you have multiplication or division. And then number 4, we have a divided by b. Then let me write c. So now what I'm going to do, because I've got the division, I have the liberty to remove the bracket with the exponent c. So I'm going to say this one, it's going to multiply there. Remember there's 1, so 1 multiplied by c. So that will be a c divided by, we take that c again, go down there. So that will be b c. Note that we can only apply these two laws in one or in two conditions. Number 1, you need to have a multiplication in between. And then number 2, you need to have division. So these are the two conditions that allows you to work on this rule. Other than that, you do not by any means do anything. If you have a plus inside, for an example, if you have a minus b squared, because of this minus, you can't say a squared minus. That is wrong. You do not do that. So this is basically wrong. You cannot do that. Why? Because of this minus. Remember, the sign inside must be multiplication or division. Then law number 5. Then anything to the power of 0, it's 1. Anything to the power of 0, it's 1. Anything to the power of 0, make sure that you write 1. For an example, if you have something like a 3 to the power of 0, for an example. So now you must check this 0. Where is the 0? Is the 0 in 1? No, it is only in 3. So that will be a 1. Then the answer is a. So that is very, very important. But then now if you have 3a to the power of 0, it means that this 0 is for both. So what we're going to do, because of that bracket, everything is to the power of 0. Then we write 1. Then you are done. So that is a very, very interesting law. You need to always remember that law. And then number 6. Law number 6 says that if you have a to the power of negative 1, that can be written as 1 over a. So what does that mean? When you take something to the other side, that thing has to change the sign. If it doesn't change the sign, then it is incorrect. So now you can even prove it in your calculator there. You can say 2 to the power of negative 1. That can be written as 1 over 2. So that law is very, very important. So we're going to use it a lot. And then number 7, we have a root here. Then I have a. Then this is, let me just write 4. Then this is 5. So now what we're going to do here is to say, first thing first, a to the power of 4, then 1 over 5. 1 over 5. So which means that we're going to multiply that exponent 1 over 5 inside. So that is going to be a to the power of 4 multiplied by 1 over 5. Therefore, the answer is a to the power of 4 over 5. So this law is very, very important. It's very, very important. What does that mean? It means that each and every time, take note, each and every time when you have something like this, let's take for an example, you have the root 4. Root 4. Root 4, if you use your calculator, it is the same as 2. It is the same as 2. Where is that 2 coming from? It is coming from this law. So now because of that root, the root, this root is the same as exponent. Exponent 1 over 2. So that is the same. That is the root. It is the same as exponent 1 over 2. What does that mean? So now let's go back to this 4. So we're going to change 4 into exponential form, which we're still going to figure out how to work about it as time goes by. So that will be 2. Therefore, this root is the same as 1 over 2. Then we're going to apply the third law of exponent. That will be 2 multiplied by 1 over 2. Then we cancel the 2. Therefore, the final answer will be 2. So it means that whenever you see the root, you must make sure that you do it as 1 over 2. So basically, these are the laws that we will be dealing with. So now when we do exponent, first thing first, we need to understand these laws. We have to make sure that we understand them. So now in the next video, I will be doing different questions in terms of all of these laws. I will unpack each and every law in the next video. Hope to see you soon, and thank you very much.